Peace and abundance, family. MJ the Mastermind back with another video. Listen, I got a good one for y'all here today. Well, everyone is a good one, isn't it? So listen, man, if you're somebody that loves personal development, reality transurfing, reality creation, all things in between, law of attraction, all of that, make sure to follow the channel. All right. So why your life isn't changing even though you're doing the work? Why your life isn't changing even though you're doing the work, man. This is a nice topic to go over here today, right? Because I've experienced it. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, even people in corporate America in their career and their profession deal with this, where they feel like they're doing all of the right actions maybe, but don't feel like the results line up. So I think this is a very, very great topic to go over here today. All right, so let's talk about it. Right, let's talk about it. So the main thing that you have to understand is that before reality can shift, your identity has to shift. Before reality can shift, your identity has to shift. What does that mean? All right, that means who you are, right, ultimately affects what you do, which ultimately affects what you get. Right? What does that mean? That means that it comes down to who you are and your identity, y'all. That is the foundation. Okay? And yes, our actions, our habits, all of these things matter, but on a foundational level, if you don't know who you are or who you are striving to become, really know it, then you're in no man's land. Honestly, you're just a reactor to life because you're not even being intentional with who you are at the foundational level. Like, if you can't be intentional with who you are, how are you going to be intentional with life? Okay? And that's a whole nother topic, right? Because how many people are going through life not being intentional with their identity, not being intentional with who they become, who they want to become. They've become a slave to their experiences. They've become a slave to their memory. They've become a slave to their past. Okay? But you have to make a choice on who you want to become, right? And this is why it's important to get clarity on that identity, right? Now, if you are somebody that feels like you have been living in alignment, you have been congruent with that identity, right? Now, the next thing that is important to understand is that, yes, identity shifts first before reality shifts. It does, but there's a delay, okay? There is a delay, okay? So things don't happen immediately when you start living in alignment with that identity of that person that you know that you are. You don't immediately start to see the results of that. Okay? You do not immediately start to see those results. All right? Now, you have to, first of all, before we even dive into that, you should not be attached to the results, right? And this brings up another topic, right? Because a lot of us, we get so attached to the outcome and the results is that we create resistance on a universal level. Okay? Because when you're so attached to the outcome of something, what happens is you create an imbalance energetically, right? This is why, like, a lot of times, like, when we want something really bad, really bad to happen, like we want it really, really so much, a lot of times it doesn't happen because we're so attached to it, right? And that's the concept of excess potential, okay? And putting too much importance on this thing. And if you study reality transurfing principles, then you'll understand that creates, the universe at that point is forced to create a reset balance, right? And a lot of times the universe resetting balance ends up us not getting what we want. Okay? So, and because you're not getting the results that you want, now it starts to affect you emotionally. Right? So now it starts to mess with your vibration, your energy, your frequency. Okay? Because you keep checking for results. You're like, when the results coming? When the results coming? When the results coming? Right? Now, I know this is going to be difficult. It's easier said than done, right? But you have to fall more in love with the person that you're becoming than the results. You have to fall more in love with the person you're becoming than the results. Okay? And again, I know it's easier said than done, but it's really just a perspective shift. Because what you have to understand is the results come based on who you become. The results are based on who you become. So if you fall in love with who you're becoming, you'll automatically get the results. I know, we hear it all the time. Fall in love with the process. It's all about the journey. Right? But it's also a reason why a lot of great, amazing people that have reached high levels of success and achievement say this. It's a commonality, isn't it? There's a reason. There's the reason for that. Because, Kobe had a great saying when he was retiring about when he was speaking to the crowd and speaking to his daughters, and he was saying how, waking up at 3 a.m. and, the days where he didn't want to do it, that's the dream. Like, that's the dream, falling in love with that process. Like, man, I know, y'all. Now, here's the thing. Trust the work. You have to trust the principles, right? You have to be consistent enough. Just put your head down and be consistent, and just do the work and trust the work, and continuously take the next best action, right? And do not let physical reality change how you feel. And that's a huge one that messes a lot of people up, is that they let physical reality change how they feel. Because physical reality is not responding in the way that they want. It ends up affecting their vibration. And when that happens, then you put yourself in an even worse situation, because now you're going to start attracting more negative situations to you that hold you back. Okay? So maintain the identity, y'all. Maintain the identity for as much and as actually every day. Right? It's the congruency game. We talked about this in the last video I just did. Right? There's no days off when it comes to being congruent with yourself, with your identity. There's no days off. You must live in alignment every single day. Every day. Because that's what the job requires. That's what the job requires, y'all. All right? So, I want y'all to really sit with this. Okay? I want y'all to really sit with this, because this is a concept I know a lot of people are dealing with. Y'all got to trust the mirror of reality. Trust the mirror of reality. Okay? Continue to improve. Continue to take the next best action. Right? And trust universal laws. These are universal laws. Like, but you gotta be congruent, though. You gotta be in alignment. That's required. It is a requirement. All right? And we must do what is required. Peace and abundance, y'all. I love y'all, man. Y'all continue to tap in. Much love to all the subscribers, all the new ones, all the old ones, all my traders, all my investors. Man, I've been thinking about y'all, man, and we might have to get the market content back out. Man, I've been the market's been fun. The market's been fun. But everybody, man, I love y'all, man. I hope everybody just has an amazing life. Until the next video. Peace.